guys, welcome to Virtual Health Club. This is a new series, but also a continuation of supplements training that I've been doing for years. I wanted to add it to Virtual Health Club, but I'm also posting this on YouTube. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, then just know that this is part of a greater self-care project or club that I started 5 months ago that's offered in private, semi-private coaching sessions over Zoom. So if you want to become a member of Virtual Health Club so that you can learn to take care of yourself at home, prevent and treat chronic diseases and symptoms, learn how to be more healthy, and get educated by holistic doctors, naturopathic doctors, functional medicine practitioners, as well as holistic health coaches, then please check out the link below. There is a special offer where you can get a month free. You do have to enter your credit card number, but we will not charge it unless you decide to become a member for your second month. Then it's $29 a month. This is an amazing deal, okay? Because we are doctors, you can talk to us, you can ask us questions. We are functional medicine practitioners and health coaches, and you can interact with us and as much as you want to attend the live videos, and we offer at least one video a week that's live, and then we also are offering recorded videos such as this one. So this one I am putting on YouTube, so sorry for the long introduction for those of you who are part of Health Club, but this is a really important thing that I'm expanding Health Club this year, and we are striving to get 1,000 members in Virtual Health Club, and this will allow us to create an app so that you can retrieve all the videos and coaching sessions on demand anytime you want them, so that we can reach you more immediately via your phone, and so that we can really help to segment our coaching club into more specific and specialized groups. We want to keep it intimate, even when we're growing it into the 1,000 members. We want to keep it very intimate, and by specializing our groups, we're going to be able to do this. But of course, I need members so that I can pay my coaches, and so that I can really grow it in the best possible way, and we can improve our technology, etc. So thank you so much for supporting Virtual Health Club. I absolutely appreciate you and love you for that, and want to have your feedback, what you think of it. And if you're just checking this out for the first time, thank you so much for being with us. We are holistic health experts, and we are sharing information about all areas of self-care. So that's mind, body, and spirit. So that's nutrition and your everyday health habits, what you eat, how you sleep, how you think, your spirituality, how you move your body, your beliefs about yourself and about your future. And so we are here to address all of those things. So this specific episode is about Supplements 101. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Supplements are, of course, something that I've been using in my practice for a long time, and I would consider myself a supplements expert. I really have been working in supplements since I was 19 years old. Since even before I was a naturopathic doctor, I worked with a company called Bodywise, and I worked at a vitamin store called Elements in Toronto, and I was a juice bartender, and that's actually how I got into naturopathic medicine, was that I had a viral condition and I did a supplements regimen, and it healed, it cured. And so I have been a proponent of dietary supplements. I've worked with several dietary supplements companies. Right now I've partnered with Nutrimetrics and Isotonics, as well as TLS, and so those are the supplements that I tend to talk about. But I'm also going to be presenting in this video just general information about how to identify a good supplement. And so just let me present this, put it into presentation mode, so you get to see some extra information. But this is a general video about how to understand what makes a good supplement. I will be talking about regulations and how dietary supplements are regulated, because there's a big myth about dietary supplements not being regulated. And this, of course, I'm talking to Americans. In Canada, there is the Natural Health Product Directorate, and that regulates dietary supplements, and they're known as natural health products as opposed to dietary supplements. In the United States, they're known as dietary supplements. They are regulated. They are not regulated like drugs. They are regulated like food and dietary supplements. And so it depends on which category they have been registered as, but they are certainly regulated, and we're going to talk about the details because I would like to break the myth that dietary supplements are not regulated. That is just not true. And if you are going to become a knowledgeable consumer, recommender of dietary supplements, if you already are, then you need to know some details about how to make the best selections. Also, there's so much noise out there. There's so much negative propaganda about dietary supplements because, you know, they do not support or fuel the economic drive towards pharmaceuticals, right? So this is a big kind of yin and yang opposition in the US especially. And because the FDA supports drugs as the way to cure and treat disease, they do not support dietary supplements as the way to cure and support disease. And it does not matter how much research there is. If the FDA takes as their agenda that drugs cure and dietary supplements do not, for whatever reasons they take that stance, it doesn't matter how much evidence there is on curcumin to reduce inflammation, a company still cannot say that curcumin or turmeric treats inflammation, okay? So you have to understand why the language is set up. It's set up to comply with what the FDA's regulations are on dietary supplements, and that has to do with what they believe, their stance, their agenda, their platform, their relationship with pharmaceutical industry, and how the healthcare system is set up. So you have to know that when you're trying to understand dietary supplements, okay? So I am Dr. Millie Lytle. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm a nutritionist. I have my master's in public health. I've studied health systems all around the world, and I have worked as a practitioner for over 15 years in various cities. I've worked in Toronto, I've worked in Hamburg, Germany, and I've worked in New York City. I run a virtual health club, as I mentioned, and so we are able to touch people all over the world. Okay, so let's get into it, about supplements and product education. How to choose a good dietary supplement, we're going to cover that today. Supplements regulation, as I mentioned, I'm going to talk about a very special delivery system called isotonics and show you a bit of a video. I'm going to go into some supplements that I consider part of a nutritional wellness program, especially for healing the digestive tract. And I've got supplements regulation in there twice. We're not going to cover it twice. If you have any questions, I'd love to see your questions, comments posted below in the comments. If you're on YouTube, if you're in Health Club watching this, you can always respond to us. This is not a live video, this is a recorded video, so I'm not coaching this session, but please do respond with your questions and comments. And I will also provide links if you wish to purchase any of the products in this video, because full disclosure, I am a distributor for Nutrimetrics. I do coach and teach for Nutrimetrics, and they are a brand of supplements that I use as much as I can in my practice. They really work, and I enjoy taking them, and my patients enjoy taking them. Now, of course, they're not the only good supplement brand. There are a lot of good supplement brands, but another thing that I would like to say is that the best supplement brands are not necessarily available for retail on the counter. And so there's various reasons for this, and I might touch on some of those. Okay, so the issue of regulation for supplements in the United States, guys. In Europe, there's Codex. Codex are regulated like drugs in Europe, so they're only very small amounts are available over the counter in the apothecaries, or in the pharmacies, whereas in the apothecaries is where you have to get your dietary supplements because they're regulated like drugs. In Canada, they're regulated like natural health products. They have their own division of Health Canada set up. And whereas in the United States, they're regulated by the FDA. They are regulated under an act called the Dietary Supplements Health and Education Act. It was founded in 1994 and passed in 1994 by Congress. And it is a statute of the United States federal legislation which defines and regulates dietary supplements. Okay, you guys can look it up. Here's a link. Under this act, supplements are effectively regulated by the FDA for good manufacturing practices under the 21 CFR Part 3, okay? So under the 21 CFR Part 3, you can see any claims that are allowed to be stated by a handful of dietary supplements. So for instance, calcium, vitamin D have claims that along with a healthy diet, they may go towards preventing osteopenia, bone thinning. So that's one claim. There are not very many of those qualified claims, but there are a few. They need to be stipulated exactly as the FDA has allowed them to be. You can't go and change it up. You can't say that calcium prevents osteopenia or osteoporosis. You have to say, along with a good healthy diet, calcium and vitamin D contribute towards preventing osteopenia, or may contribute towards preventing osteopenia or osteoporosis. And so there's only a few that have health claims, and otherwise there's only structure and function claims. So we can only say curcumin helps to support joint flexibility. We cannot say curcumin helps joint pain, because pain is something that needs to be treated, and only drugs can do that according to the FDA. And so you have to understand that the FDA sets it up this way to protect themselves and their interests, and that includes financial interests and their whole platform. And the FDA is pretty transparent about this. You can go and see what their stance is on dietary supplements, which is they do not support health claims about dietary supplements. Dietary supplements companies cannot say that their products prevent, treat, diagnose, or cure disease. All dietary supplements have to say this. All dietary supplements, if they're following current good manufacturing practices, that's CGMP, if they're following CGMP, means that the dietary supplement, put it on their label, they're following CGMP, they're complying with the FDA standards, they are not making claims that would mislead the public away from what the FDA says that dietary supplements are capable of doing. And again, this does not matter how much research there is on something. Now, in the future, will dietary supplements, depending on research, be regulated in a different way? Maybe. Will there be claims allowed? Maybe. Will a supplement turn into a drug? Maybe. So all of these things are possibilities. But in the meantime, doesn't matter that there's 2,000 published studies on green tea and the antioxidant value or the cancer preventing or treating abilities of green tea. Doesn't matter. The FDA says that dietary supplements do not prevent, treat, diagnose, or cure, and therefore every bottle has to say that, even if they're saying goes towards, and then green tea is effective towards cellular health or protects cellular integrity, so, or is healthy for the immune system, but you could never say treats a poor immune system, or treats immunocompromised people, or prevents cancer. Dietary supplements could never say that. So that's why the language can get very sticky. And if you are looking for a supplement for blood pressure or blood sugar, and you look at the bottle and it says it supports a healthy blood sugar, you think, well, I have unhealthy blood sugar, so this is not the supplement for me. But yes, it is the supplement for you, because if it mentions blood sugar and that's the issue that you want treated, then the supplement that says blood sugar or glucose metabolism is the one for you. It's just that the company is not allowed to directly say that according to the FDA, and they are complying with FDA regulations on supplementation, okay? So it's political. And that's part of regulations. Regulations are political, but it does not mean that dietary supplements are not regulated. They are regulated. And so basically what happened was that every product, supplement product, natural product that was on the shelf before 1994 was grandfathered in. So the FDA just recognized them as generally safe. They were in the market, they were being sold, people were purchasing them over the counter in dietary supplement stores, health food stores, vitamin stores, GNC, eventually Whole Foods came along, or you can buy things on Amazon, or you can buy things through shop.com, which is where or one of my websites, which is where I buy as many as I can, or Full Script if you're a practitioner, or Wellevate, etc. Right? There's all these places you buy dietary supplements over the counter. Anything that was on the shelf before 1994 is grandfathered in. After 1994, if there was a new ingredient, so let's say vinpocetine, or let's say resveratrol, these kind of new compounds that have been discovered to be health beneficial in plants, from plants generally, because we know all the vitamins beforehand, but it could also be certain cofactors, like it could be, trying to think of one that might not have been on the shelf before 1994, like maybe hesperidin, or maybe Lutein probably was, or maybe CoQ10. CoQ10 is something that our body makes. It actually is, considered like a vitamin. It's not really a plant extract. It's more actually from animals. And so, but we might not have been able to really buy CoQ10 before 1994. So if it was introduced to the market after 1994, anything that was a series of white papers, research, all had to be presented. Now, I think it was 1998 that the European Union accepted Codex as a way to regulate dietary supplements as drugs. And so from that point on, a lot of dietary supplements would have been researched and studied as drugs in Europe. And that actually benefits the market in the US, because then there's all this research showing that the dietary supplement is safe, that it's effective, that it has a known dose, that this is the level you should take, how many times, a toxic level or a minimum dosage, etc. All the information, how often you should take it in order for it to procure an effect. So this is all the kind of information we need to know about any drug or natural supplement that can actually treat anything. And so if something's regulated like a drug in Europe, even when it's brought over to the US and regulated like a dietary supplement, and we can't make those claims about it, but we still know it in the research. It's still there in the research. And so, so all of this information has to be presented to the FDA so that the FDA can approve it as safe, as something that is, for sale, sellable to the public, not going to harm the public, and be able to be incorporated into dietary supplements that are sold on the shelf or online in the United States, okay? Now, criminals, people who commit fraud and want to sneak drugs into dietary supplements, that's a completely different thing, right? Because those companies are people who want to get a maybe stronger effect, maybe want to make big health claims about their product. They are not following current good manufacturing practices, those companies. And so you do want to make sure that when you choose dietary supplements, they are CGMP. They are following good manufacturing practices. So that means that what they are saying on the label is actually in the bottle. They're guaranteeing the dose, the amount of the product that they say on the label is going to be in the bottle at the date of expiration. So if it's probiotics, if there's supposed to be 1 billion cells in there, then it has to be 1 billion cells left in there at the date of expiration, as long as the product has been treated and handled accordingly. It also means that there's been a certificate of analysis done on the products. The certificate of analysis shows that the product has been tested for purity, has been tested for the ingredient that it says, has been tested for, that there's no bacterial or mold contamination. So that we have a consistency. We know that there's a guarantee that as long as this product is handled properly, it's not exposed to like boiling temperatures or frigid temperatures, et cetera, whatever, anything that would damage the product, that we know there's going to be a certain, 500 milligrams of ginkgo biloba in there. We know that the ginkgo biloba is going to be standardized at 95%. We know that the product is safe and free of mold and bacterial contaminants. And we know that this product is going to be functional in the body up at least and guaranteed up until the expiry date. Okay, now generally at expiry dates it just means best before. It does not mean that the product is completely dead afterwards. Generally it's safe to take products even after the expiry date, but the product will degrade over time as it sits on the shelf, and especially dietary supplements that have very few fillers and binders in there, which we want very few fillers and binders, but it means that, because it is a natural product, it can degrade over time and lose its efficacy, not become a poisonous entity, not kill you, not become toxic, but just not maybe have the strength that you are expecting it to have. And if you're taking a dietary supplement, you actually want it to work. You actually want to feel better when you're taking a dietary supplement. You don't want to take a dietary supplement and not feel any results or benefits. And so this is the dangers of actually buying the cheapest dietary supplements, is that if it's got binders in it, if it's got talc or, all these kind of powders and tablets and dyes and unknown sugars or, aspartame or any kind of like additives that you don't really know why they're there, Now, every dietary supplement has to have something in it for the most part in order to keep it stable, to keep it dry, to keep it clean, to keep it from growing mold. And there's purposes to having additives. There's always something needed in there generally to make sure that the product is going to be okay in the capsule until the shelf life. However, if it's compounded like a medication, then that can actually impede the absorption in the stomach. And tablets especially are already slow to absorb. And so what you get from cheap supplements is that you often get binders and fillers or sugars or colors or things that are not needed, are not therapeutically valuable, and actually might impede absorption or metabolism of the supplement. You also might get low levels of the product, so amounts of the product that are not actually going to do anything. So the reason we take dietary supplements is to make sure that we have a certain level of nutrients, like we want to cover our bases. We're taking it, it's for insurance purposes, so we don't get a deficiency in vitamin C or vitamin B or B5 or B6, etc., or vitamin D. But we also do take dietary supplements to treat. I mean, of course, right? I take dietary supplements to treat conditions, even though the FDA says we're not allowed to do that. But of course, that's what people are taking them for, to procure a result. Maybe they want to get off of medication. Maybe they want to avoid getting on a medication. Maybe they want to make their body healthier so that their disease goes away or their symptoms of disease onset goes away, right? And so you do want to be sure that you're feeling an effect from your dietary supplement. If you don't feel better energy, if you're not improving your sleep quality, if you're not feeling less stressed out, if you're not feeling like the product is actually active in you, what are you taking it for, right? And so also that's where going to an expert is going to help you out, because the expert can actually tell you, oh yes, you should feel an effect from this supplement, or no, you're likely not going to feel anything, but at least we're going to be able to measure it in your blood if your blood levels go up, or at least we're going to be able to measure it in your thyroid function, or in your ability to lose weight, or in your ability to poop, or something like that, right? There has to be some kind of either functional or a therapeutic measurement to know at least, or at the very minimum, you actually feel better taking it, not just in your mind like a placebo, but you actually, and that's fine too, but you actually want to feel better taking it. So it's like when you eat your green vegetables, you feel better when you eat green vegetables, you feel better. So you know that they're kind of having an effect. Okay, now there are third-party verifiers, right? So these are companies that a product can be shipped to. So if I'm a manufacturer of dietary supplements and I say that I'm following CGMP compliance, but I also want to know, for the public to know, that my product doesn't have any GMOs in it. So then I hire a third-party verifier to check my product, because the FDA does not check every individual product. So when we say, regulated, sometimes what people are referring to is the fact that even though the ingredients have been approved by the FDA, that's necessary as part of regulation and as part of good current manufacturing practices. It needs to be, as I mentioned, free of mold and bacteria, and have the product level that it says is in there, and nothing else should be in there, no hidden or secret ingredients. However, if I produced a vitamin B complex and my neighbor produces a vitamin B complex, the FDA is not going to make sure that my bottle is what it says and my neighbor's bottle is what it says, and that all the batches are there and the same and all that. The FDA is not going to do that to every company. Now, the FDA does go in and quality check and audit dietary supplement manufacturers. But if I'm hiring a manufacturer to make a product for me, then they're not necessarily checking my company specifically, but they are checking the products that are coming out of the manufacturer. There are only so many dietary supplement manufacturers, guys, especially since DSHEA has set in. It's become very expensive for dietary supplement companies to be CGMP compliant. They need a lot of testing. They need a lot of labeling. They need a lot of standards. I can't just go into my barn and mash up some mushrooms and put it in a capsule and sell it anymore. That was possible to do that at some level prior to FDA regulation, but the FDA has really tightened up, for the protection of the public, for the detriment of the little guys, which is sad. However, it does mean that everything is safer and more standardized and more, you can be more confident especially if the company is saying that they're CGMP compliant, that they actually are. And FDA does audit, okay? However, the FDA doesn't say, oh, approved, or this is a better quality, or this is GMO free. The FDA doesn't do any of that. And so if I want to show that, then I can take it to a third-party verifier, and then they can do the background check and the testing and all of that. Now, there was a study a few years ago that showed that it said that the FDA took a whole lot of products from Costco or CVS or something and measured the products to see if they had the ingredients in them. But the testing that they used was not the right thing. They did some genetic testing. Well, you don't test what's in a supplement based on genetics. You test what's on the supplement according to a molecular measurement, what molecules of product is in there. If I'm just going to do a DNA test on ginkgo biloba, I am going to find beans and peas, which is what the results showed. And this kind of made a mockery of dietary supplements industry, because it said, oh, the FDA did some testing and all of us found in a number of top products at CVS was beans and peas. Well, hello, ginkgo biloba is a bean. So that's what's going to be found in there. It doesn't mean that it's not ginkgo biloba. It's not green beans in there. It's probably ginkgo biloba. It says the FDA tried to mislead, if it was the FDA actually who did the testing, which I think it was, is the FDA tried to mislead the public by thinking that they're not getting anything in the bottle, when really what they're getting is true. It's just that the measurement testing was done wrong. And so, you know, the public hears, oh, DNA testing, but no, DNA testing is not how you measure what's in the supplement, and the FDA knew that. So there are some things that are being done to kind of, you know, misinform people and even healthcare providers if you really don't know the supplements industry. Now, I've worked in every aspect of the supplements industry. Not only have I sold supplements, recommended supplements in my practice, taken supplements and had results, I've also worked for dietary supplement companies, liaisoning with the FDA in Canada with the Natural Health Products Directorate. I've written SOPs, standardized procedures. I've written labels. I've done third-party verifications. I've audited facilities. So I've done a lot of work in dietary supplements regulation, even here in the United States. I worked for Invite Health doing all their compliance. And so I do know what I'm talking about. So, okay, evidence-based therapeutic doses. So that is something that you want to make sure is in the product. It's not enough just to get 10 milligrams. You know, oh, somebody said that vitamin C is good, so I'm going to get a product that has 10 milligrams in it. No, how do you think how is 10 milligrams going to do anything for you? And what is the source of the vitamin C? You might also want to know that. So this is another reason for why better quality products might cost a little bit more, because they might not have allergens in them, or they might not have dosing issues or inconsistencies. And then there's also patented products. So as I mentioned, there's, so for instance, if we're talking about lutein, for instance, FloraGlow is a brand, a patented brand of lutein extracted from marigold flowers. So you know exactly where the product is sourced. It's made from this specific company called FloraGlow. FloraGlow can be used and put into all sorts of different companies' products. So I have a lutein product, my friend has a lutein product. We can both use FloraGlow lutein. The good thing about this is that FloraGlow has been studied. It has been tested. We know how much is needed. We know in order to produce a result. We know how much is needed in order to be too much or too little. We know how many times a day you have to take it. We know what the side effects are. We know what the, you know, there's not really side effects to it, but I'm just saying that we know all of this product information because the company FloraGlow has done their due diligence and done research on the product, okay? So yes, do you also want to make sure that independent researchers have done research on the product, not just the companies? Yes, so this is another thing. So you can go to the company FloraGlow website and you can see maybe some internal research that they've done on the FloraGlow product, but then you can also go to you know, PubMed and find if there was any research done on marigold lutein. They might not even mention the name FloraGlow, the brand name. They just might mention you know, a company producing marigold lutein or lutein derived from marigolds, and then you have to kind of put that together. How many companies are making lutein derived from marigolds? And so you can do all of this kind of research if you're interested in doing it. Okay, but it's like something like ubiquinol, Kanaki ubiquinol. So this is a brand, this is a product, a patented product. So you know exactly that any company that produces or that sells Kaneki ubiquinol, it's the same ubiquinol. So if you're looking at a higher price or a lower price product, it's the same ubiquinol. And then you want to look at, okay, what else is in there? What the other ingredients are? Do I want those other ingredients? Are they absorbable? Are they safe? And at what dose is it, etc. And then you can decide if it's worth paying more money or less money for that product. Biocurcumin, BCM 95. Lots of different companies sell it. Market American Nutrimetrics sells it, Isotonic sells it, Invite Health sells it, Life Extension sells it. They all sell Biocurcumin BCM 95, which in my opinion is the best biocurcumin turmeric product on the market. There's other good turmerics, there's Mariva, there's C3, so there's different curcumins but they're all patented, and we know what to expect from each patented ingredient. It's not just like throwing turmeric in the bottle. So guys, I hope you understand that the issue of regulation is complicated. Dietary supplements are complicated. The big takeaway from this slide is that dietary supplements are regulated by the FDA. There's politics involved in what they can say. Does not mean that the dietary supplement is not effective. Even if there's no research on a dietary supplement, it doesn't mean that it's not effective. It just means that you don't know. And so, and depending on how much you need to know, you can research further or go to somebody who's knowledgeable and expert about dietary supplements, such as myself, such as Dr. Salasi, such as anybody who works on the Nutrimetrics team, Dr. Deidre Mason. We are all experts in dietary supplements. And of course, there are experts in dietary supplements that work for other companies as well. Okay. So other things to be aware of when you're looking for dietary supplements, good quality, is that maybe you want it to be gluten-free. So then it says so on the label. Maybe you want it to be GMO-free, or approved by the GMO project, the non-GMO project. They're a third-party verifier. So, but a company can find out from another verifier, not the non-GMO project, that a product is GMO-free. It just, they didn't go to the non-GMO project, which also, you have to pay the non-GMO project. They're a third-party verifier. They'll trace your product and they'll research your product to see if there's any GMOs in there. Is the product vegetarian, or does it have animal sources in there? Is it vegan? Is it free of corn or yeast or sugar? All these things. This isotonic capable, so allows easy swallowing. So there's different labels to understand depending on what your allergy profile is, what you want to avoid, what's important to you and to your ethics, and also what the quality of the supplement is, and if it's going to be suitable for you, for your children. If a tablet might not be suitable for your children, or if it's a powder, it might be better. Okay, so this is Isotonic's delivery system. This is one of my favorite delivery systems, and the reason is because it is very quickly absorbed. Now, it does use the same pH, which is what they mean by isotonic, as tears, blood, plasma, breast milk, in order to have fast absorption into the bloodstream. So it doesn't linger around in the stomach. It actually empties out of the stomach contents in less than 1 minute, as long as you take it in the approved amount, the recommended amount of water, which is 2 ounces of water to every cap full of the product. On an empty stomach, it'll empty out of your stomach in under 1 minute. And the reason it can do this is because of the pH. And the way that they create this pH is based on what I call the Gatorade principle. So it means it has a certain amount of sugar, has a certain amount of salt or electrolytes, sodium, bicarbonate, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium. So there's a base of all of those minerals in order to absorb this, as well as some sugar and bicarbonate. Sugar is needed in order to control gastric emptying. So the sugar is there as a benefit to the product. Now, if you're sugar sensitive, do you have to be careful about how many isotonics you take? Yes, but if you can still take 2 to 3 servings, and even if you're ketogenic, you can avoid, you can still go into ketosis just with that, or you can break it up throughout the day. And so these are things to keep in mind, whether or not you want to take it. But let's watch the video. Okay, guys, so that is a delivery system of dietary supplements. It's proprietary. It's not it's owned by Market America, so you won't see any other isotonic product on the market. You will see powders, but just because something's powdered doesn't mean it's isotonic. In order for it to be isotonic, it has to match the pH of the body fluids so that it can empty out of the stomach very quickly and into the bloodstream. And this is suitable for the elderly, for anybody with digestive issues, for athletes, for children. And there's research via the sources here, and I'll put a link also to the Isotonics website so that you can check that out if you're interested in learning more. Many doctors and health practitioners carry isotonics and nutrimetrics products in their practices for this reason. One reason is because it's very effective and there's lots of research behind it. It's easy to take. And another reason is because it's not available on retail shelves. So their patients can't just go out and get it, at the GNC or what have you. Even you can't even order it on Amazon really, because this is a professional division of a network marketing company. And so the products are not available on retail. Just trying. Okay, so in order to be able to digest digestive products the best, in order to be able to absorb nutrients, the digestive system has to be working properly. So one product that helps to absorb the digestive tract, to repair the digestive tract, is aloe. Aloe vera comes as a concentrate in a powder, or you can also get it into a juice or a gel. If you take aloe vera juice, like whole aloe vera juice, it means that it has the whole leaf in it. This is going to be a laxative effect. So it's only the gel, the inner gel, and especially when it's concentrated, that you're going to get this intense healing, soothing, demulcent quality. And it is a fiber, so even so, it does not raise the blood sugar. It actually can help lower blood sugar, help support the digestive tract, promotes healing of the digestive tract, helpful for any stomach pain, and promotes digestive discomfort and promotes digestive comfort when there's discomfort, and supports a strong immune system. Digestive enzymes can come in isotonic form, which means they're highly absorbable. These ones also contain probiotics. You can get them in a bottle or these easy, convenient tearaway packs. You just add to water. Instantly helps to soothe and settle the stomach if you're feeling too full or bloated. Helps with stomach pain if you're not able to digest and break down your food properly. Supports healthy immune function. Provides the enzymes as we age, or if we're stressed out, or if we take acid suppressing medication, then we don't have the enzymes anymore to break down our food. We absolutely need these enzymes to break down our protein, our carbs, our starches, our fats. And so this product gives it back. It also has probiotics that promote the absorption of the nutrients, and the probiotics are protected in a spore so that they're not destroyed by the enzymes. Greens. If you're missing green vegetables in your diet, greens are very alkalizing. They help to increase the pH of your entire body, help to protect your cells, help to promote good bowel habits, help to protect your digestive tract, give you all sorts of vitamins and minerals and plant chemicals. Plants don't just have vitamins and minerals. They also have all these compounds, these polyphenols, antioxidants, polysaccharides, catechins, so flavonoids, all these excellent antioxidant, cell protective nutrients that people forget about, that they don't consider. They forget, that what makes plants green or blue or purple or orange or red are all these protective plant characteristics, molecules. And so that's what taking greens in a powder or in a tablet will give you. Now, this complete greens is also isotonic, so it's extremely highly absorbed, and also has probiotics in there, as well as natural nutritional enzymes to help digest your food better, break down your food, release gas and bloating, go to the bathroom, and help support your organ health. So when your gut is leaky, partially digested foods get exposed to your immune system, which then create an abnormal response to something pretty normal, such as food. That creates weight gain and so many chronic health problems. This is a quote by Dr. Mark Hyman, who's the director of the Cleveland Clinic, medical doctor, functional medical doctor, integrative, as well as master's in public health. This Nutrimetrics product is one of my favorite products because it has 4 products in one. You put this whole packet into 8 ounces of water because it's equivalent to taking 4 servings of dietary supplements. You've got a multivitamin mineral formula, although it's without iron. You've got OPC3, which is an antioxidant based from food. It's based from maritime pine bark or pycnogenol, citrus bioflavonoids, bilberry, which is a European blueberry, as well as resveratrol, the red wine antioxidant. It does not have any red wine in it. It also has an activated B complex, which is methylated methyl tetrahydrofolate, so an active folic acid, natural base, as well as methylcobalamin, activated methylated vitamin B12 for anybody who has methylation issues, MTHFR, SNPs. And it also has a calcium plus. So part of the calcium paradox is that when we take calcium tablets, the calcium increases in our blood, but it doesn't necessarily increase in our bones. So this type of taking a calcium in a powder that stretches and spreads itself along the lumen of your intestine allows the calcium to be absorbed much better and then get placed into the bone where it belongs, as opposed to just floating around. Now, of course, vitamin D and magnesium also help us out, in addition to all the supportive trace minerals that are in the calcium plus. Calcium should not be taken alone ever. It always needs trace minerals in order to support its deposition into the bone. You also need vitamin D. You also need some vitamin K, K2, and there's vitamin D in the multivitamin, but if you have bone issues, you need to take more. But on its own, this product is amazing for stress, energy, and well-being. It's a perfect multivitamin mineral, plus food antioxidants, and if you need additional iron or other minerals, then you also have to be aware that you need to take those extra. Isotonic, so OPC3 is, as I mentioned, a food-based antioxidant. Isotonic OP3 offers scientifically supported oligomeric proanthocyanidins. That's what OPC3 stands for. Found to be the most powerful antioxidants for human health. In addition to being powerful antioxidants, these individual OPC3s have also been shown to provide a myriad of health benefits. And so these are great for hormones, these are great for cell protection, these are great for health and cardiovascular health, heart health, and cardiovascular health, maintain cholesterol and blood glucose levels in normal range, maintain a healthy circulation, great for people who have capillary issues, all the blood vessels have collapsed, or if you get cold hands and feet. Strengthens capillaries. If you get broken capillaries, great for that. Arteries and veins, varicose veins, things like that. Promotes healthy blood vessel dilation, demonstrates anti-inflammatory activity, promotes joint health, sinus comfort, great for seasonal sinus comfort. You get the idea. A multivitamin, it provides insurance so that you get everything that you might be missing from food. It only guarantees you're getting the minimum as long as you're a healthy person. It does not, multivitamins do not treat or prevent, or they don't treat anything for sure. They might prevent nutritional deficiencies, and so it is insurance for that reason. Also, if you have enough vitamins and minerals in your system, then you're much less likely to have immune issues, much less likely to have body weight issues. Also, you can heal better when you have enough vitamins and minerals. Help maintains hydration. Hydration is not just about water intake, it's also about electrolyte levels and how the cell is absorbing nutrition. So nutrition is the foundation for health and development, guys. We really need to make sure that we're getting all the nutrients that we need into our diet, and not even just minimums. We need to get therapeutic index levels. We need to get optimal levels into our diet. So we can't just rely on vitamins. We need to also rely on food and make sure we're eating high density nutrition. That's really the best way to get our nutrients. But you can get extra insurance by taking a multivitamin mineral. As I mentioned, activated B complex delivers the metabolically active vitamin Bs, as well as minerals in isotonic form. And this really might improve your energy, especially if you're low in B vitamins. If you have a hard time converting your B vitamins into the usable forms, helps to protect your serotonin levels, neurotransmitters, helps decrease stress and improve mood. And this is really a vitamin that you should help to notice, that helps you buffer your stress better and cope with stress better. Also helps to promote Other cognitive performance, mental functioning, helps to protect your DNA, your genes, helps to improve mood, and helps to produce energy. And I already talked about Calcium Plus, delivers an optimal blend of calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin C, and boron in an efficient isotonic solution that is readily absorbed by the body. Calcium is an essential building block for maintaining strong bones, healthy teeth, and gums, supports your entire skeletal structure, joints, and bones, as well as tissue and healing. It's very important for healing, especially if you have colon issues. Calcium is extremely important for healing the colon. Also promotes regulation of hormone production, enzymes, heart health. As I mentioned, we really want to take that calcium out of the blood and make sure it's going into the bone. And with a formulation such as this is how you guarantee that, especially in the powdered isotonic form. Protects the lining of the intestines, great for PMS discomfort, because it helps to relax the visceral walls of the uterus lining so they're not spasming. Promotes normal blood clotting so that your blood's not running too thick or too thin. Supports healthy blood sugar levels, helps support normal body weight. So calcium does a lot more than just bones, guys, and you got to know this. And then also vitamin D. Of course, more than 3/4 of all Americans are vitamin D deficient, and this is, the people who are not vitamin D deficient are the people who are taking enough vitamin D. For the most part, we avoid the sun, guys. We put on sunscreen. We wear long sleeves. We live in the northern hemisphere. There's not enough UV rays produced by the sun 9 months of the year in order for us to get our vitamin D. So unless you're going to the Caribbean or somewhere else in the wintertime, you're not getting vitamin D in the winter, even on a sunny day. So there's so many myths about when we get vitamin D. Also, if you're taking cholesterol blocking medication, you are not getting vitamin D. Your vitamin D is being blocked from being produced. And so you have to keep this in mind. Also, we need cholesterol in order to produce vitamin D. So if you are suppressing your cholesterol levels with a medication, or avoiding eating cholesterol in food so that your body can produce cholesterol levels, or avoiding eating healthy fat so your body can produce cholesterol, you are not going to get enough vitamin D, guys. Okay, so you have to think about the connection. Now, I know you might not know it, but I'm here to inform you that we need cholesterol to make our hormones, and we need cholesterol, and vitamin D is considered a hormone, okay? So taking vitamin D is life-changing. It can help. It's completely transformed my immune system so that I remain healthy in the winter. And it repletes the deficiencies, of course, and this absorbable form helps to replete deficiencies faster than any other product that I've seen. We don't have to worry about the inability to absorb it in the digestive tract. It helps with artery health, helps with plaquing, helps support bone health, immune system, heart health, circulation, bone mineral density, helps to shuttle that calcium into the bones. Both the vitamin D and the vitamin K2 are required for this. Helps to maintain normal blood pressure levels, helps maintain elasticity of the blood vessels so they're not hardening. And women with low bone density have been found to be deficient in vitamin K, so it helps to replete the vitamin K levels. Okay, guys, so these are the vitamins and supplements that are part of a very optimal health regimen. And I hope you have enjoyed this very educational video on how to weed through all of the information and misinformation out there on dietary supplements and the dietary supplements regulations, how to understand how to choose a dietary supplement that's best for you, how to understand whether or not it's worth to pay more, if you should just grab anything off the CVS or Costco shelf. I would recommend generally not. However, if it is vitamin C or vitamin D, it might be totally fine. But once we get into but you want to check the binders and the fillers. And then also, once we get into formulations where then it's generally, if you're trying to treat something, then it's generally better to have a formulation that's been formulated by a doctor, somebody who's intelligent, somebody who's really trying to help your health issues with dietary supplements. And I'm happy to answer any questions on dietary supplements. Just leave them in the comments below if you're listening on YouTube, or send us an email if you're watching this on Health Club. Join Health Club. The link is below. Try it out. It's a month free. Yes, we do take your credit card information, but it is highly valuable to try it out. It is worth it. Let us know what you think, and we will not charge you until you have been a member for at least 1 month, and we hope you renew. Only $29 a month. It's high value for health coaching and naturopathic medicine consults where you can access us directly online in small group format. Blessings, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.